Yeah.
I'll bet.
Okay, welcome. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you all for shoveling yourselves out and coming here.
Oh, yeah, that was a big job.
Yeah, I know, it was a hardship. Okay, so this is a self-myofascial release workshop. It has nothing to do with a facial.
Can we do that too?
Myo means muscle, and fascia is connective or our connective tissue. And there's the fascia is made up of very densely packed protein fibers, which weaves throughout your whole body. And it binds and supports your muscles, bones, and even your organs. So think of it, your fascia just connects everything in your body. It holds us together. So it's a very important system in our body.
And the blood vessel.
Think of it as Play-Doh. You know, if you remember back when you would play with Play-Doh, when Play-Doh was very hydrated and brand new, it was very malleable. That's what we want our fascia to be like. But when the Play-Doh got dried out, which can happen to our fascia, what happens to it? It's very hard to move, right? It gets rigid. And so you can feel that in your body as well. Maybe you're not moving as well as you think. So myofascial and self means you're going to do it to yourselves. Myofascial works to release a lot of that tension in the connective tissues, and a lot of times that can cause pain, soreness, or tension. And when you can release those areas, you often feel like you have more movement. You're a little bit more flexible. It's like, oh, I can actually reach up a little bit higher. So again, if anybody has ever had a deep tissue massage, this is not a relaxing Swedish massage. This is deep tissue. That's basically what this is. It's not supposed to it could be a little uncomfortable because you're going to be finding those hard spots, you know, what we call knots, really usually, and those adhesions, and you have to apply pressure on them to get them to release, okay? So on a scale of 1 to 10, and again, everybody's pain threshold is different. Try to think of going to maybe a 5 to a 7 if you can, all right? You don't want it to be so painful that your body tenses up because that's not going to help release those spots. You need to be able to try to stay relaxed and breathe, and you really want to try to push into wherever that spot is that you find. And it's going to be different on everybody, and you may find spots on one side of your body and none on the other.
Yeah.
And that's totally normal. We all have dominant sides. We use one side, you know, we use our arms and legs constantly, always, right? And then not the other as much. So we tend to also get a lot of knots in that way as well. So some areas may be more intense than others, and so feel free to just kind of back off on those areas. Like I said, you don't want it to hurt so much that you're like you have to tense up your whole body, because that's not going to do you any good. Normally, if you were to do this yourselves, you want to try to really stay on those spots for like maybe a minute to 2 minutes. But we don't have that kind of time because I want to get to a lot of different parts, and then I want to have time afterwards to stretch, because once you've been able to release that spot, it should be a little bit easier to stretch it out, because it's not like this. It's like, try to stretch my hand, try to uncurl my fingers when I'm like this. But if you can release it, it's a lot easier, right? So we'll follow up with some stretching, and I am recording this. So it will be up on Uniguest, okay? And I'll put a little announcement in the Gazette when it's up there where to find it, okay? So that you can go back and you can do it yourselves. I didn't bring, everybody has a tennis ball here, but I didn't bring tennis balls for everybody, so you can, if you can scrounge a tennis ball yourself, go to a friend who used to play tennis, that'd be great. You can do that. You can also use lacrosse balls. Lacrosse balls tend to be harder, so you probably don't have to go in as much. Sometimes I use golf balls, which is what we used when I did this in October. They're also really good, but there's some parts of the body that are a little small, like when we do our glutes. We have a lot of muscle back here, a lot of squish. Plus, the chair, you know, it's not a flat chair, so when you put the ball there and we sit on it, it can go down into the chair. So the tennis ball should be a little bit better for that, because we'll be able to sit on it and use it to kind of get into our glutes a little bit, all right? Again, if anybody feels any like real pain in any one area, back off or just don't do that side. Everybody in here is bringing different things into the room about their bodies, and you just have to do what's best for you, okay?
Is it possible to turn off that beeping sound?
What big
Sorry, maybe I'm the only one hearing it.
Okay. Okay, so you can stay seated or you can stand for the first one. And we're gonna start by rolling on the bottom of our feet. So again, if you need to stay seated, you can do that. Or you can get behind your chair and you're gonna put the ball down and go from the heel to the toes. Like get under, like kind of where the toes go to the foot, like here, get your toes around it. If you need to, get behind your chair. It's a lot, so that you're not like leaning back and trying to balance and do this.
I don't have balance.
So if you can get behind your chair. Yeah.
She can do all the talking she wants.
And just go ahead and roll.
So when you find that hard spot, what do you do?
So when you find, like when you're going over, try not to go like really fast. Try to go, you know, anytime we're doing anything like rolling, kind of go over it. Nice controlled, slow way. When you find a spot, you want to stay on that spot. Maybe put a little bit more pressure in there if you can. Yeah, I already see some faces going. So welcome to myofascial release. It's one of those things that a lot of times when you're doing it, you're like, oh, wow, this doesn't really feel really good. But when you're done, you're like, ooh, I just move so much better. So,
It's tingling. It tingles.
Yeah, it tingles a little bit sometimes. Whoops.
And how long are you supposed to hold it?
Here, if you find it, try to, you know, they're here, but just for time, you can try to hold it 30 seconds to a minute. But
When you say
I'm going
hold
right
it-
now, I'm just going from the heel to the ball. I'm just kind of releasing all that, those muscles in there. And then, if you want, you can kind of go on the outside of the foot. So kind of where the side of the pinky, where your piggy toe is. Go on the outside there. And don't forget to breathe. Make sure you're breathing, holding your breath and concentrating on this. And again, there's some sides you may not really feel that much, and then you go to the other side and you're like, oh, wow, there's a lot going on over that side. So that's your body also telling you what's going on in your body. Maybe you're, you know, using one side more than the other for certain things, like all the time. Like if you're right-handed, we tend to just always use our right arm for stuff. So it's always good to then maybe, if you can think about it, instead of always reaching with the right, try to alternate, reaching with the left arm. Good. Everybody okay with this? Let's do the other foot, the other foot. So again, go from the heel to the ball of the foot, go right under where the toes kind of meet the ball of your foot. Get your toes kind of spread over the ball, just kind of stretching them out a little bit. Yeah. Sometimes they get away from you.
They do roll.
Yeah, they do. Does this feel good to everybody? I mean, it may be a lot. And you know, there's so much in our body that starts at our feet, right? And we just really ignore them a lot.
So when you're on a hot spot, do you just stay still or do you roll around just?
Yeah, you're
roll?
just staying on it and then try to get a little bit more pressure in there. Like I said, everybody's pain threshold is a little different, but you know, you can kind of push down on it. And after a while, particularly if you hold that long enough, you should start to feel it release. Now, some spots, just to let you know, you may not experience this, but it's also very normal if you've got tightness, that when you hit it and you start putting pressure, you might feel that referring out to other, like you might say, oh, I feel that going down my arm, down my leg, it's shooting, you know, going over. So that's totally normal as well. So again, your body's talking to you. And then roll on the outside. Huh?
I hear the beeping.
Oh. Good. Don't forget to breathe. Good. All right. So let's go ahead and sit down. And just try to sit up nice and straight. We're going to do our hands next. Yeah, that's going to feel really good.
Oh, yeah.
Particularly, I mean, if you have arthritis or if you spend a lot of time on a computer, you know, your hands are cramped up, you spend a lot of time doing art, your hands are, you know, like this. I mean, they're moving, but they're still, so we're going to kind of stretch those out as well. So let's take the ball, put it on top of our right thigh, and we're going to use our right hand on top of the ball. And you can either do one, or you could use your left hand on top to get a little bit of extra pressure. And you can just kind of, we're also kind of giving ourselves a little thigh massage at the same time.
Yeah.
But think about rolling, roll kind of across the pad of your hand. You can go to the inside, kind of between that space between your thumb and your index finger. Anybody feel anything in here?
So you're going down the center of your thigh,
I'm
basically?
going this way right now. Yeah, just to the space between the thumb and the index finger.
Yes.
Go across, like kind of go across the base, right here, the heel of your hand a little bit. Just kind of just take your hands going across your thigh, which again is really, feels really good on the thigh. And put some pressure on that.
If I get up into my knuckles, it hurts. I mean, you know, like here, but that's not where you're going. You're coming down, you're down.
I was going to here first, and then I was going across here. Yeah. And then you can also go on, like, on the outside, under, like, where your thumb is.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah. Ooh, I can feel, there's a spot there.
There's something there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and so when you find it, again, you can just stay on that, put a little bit of pressure there and hold. Again, you know, everybody's threshold for pain is different. Just pressing down. And then you can also then go the other side. Roll on the side of the pinky. I hear breathing. Good.
It's a good sign.
That's a good sign. Yeah. Okay. Let's go the other, to do the other hand. Oh, before you do that, just kind of shake it out. And wiggle your fingers around. You feel a little bit looser? Better?
A little looser, yeah.
All right, so let's do the same. Go, take your hand and roll it over, just around from the, from kind of the heel, to just where the fingers, like at the pad, right here. Spread your fingers too.
So this is for our hand rather than for our thigh, is that?
Yeah, it's hitting the thigh a little bit as well, especially if you're putting some pressure on the thigh. And then you can go over and get, you know, go to this space, go from the heel of the hand over to that space between your thumb and index finger, that kind of fleshy pad. And then you can roll on the side of the thumb.
Oh, yeah. Another little spot.
Oh. And then you can hit the side of the pinky. Okay, good. Just put your ball down. We're gonna come back to that, but we're gonna do the neck, and we're just gonna use our hands first. I mean, you can use a ball, but I think the fingers, what I'm gonna show you, we're gonna use the hands and just kind of shake out those fingers. So if you put your fingers kind of like right where your ear is, and then you come down and a little bit to like right to the top of your collarbone. That's a big muscle with a long name called the sternocleidomastoid.
Oh, my.
And this can get really tight. So you can either take one finger on either side, push in, and then just kind of pull it down slowly. You could also use, I like to sometimes just take my knuckles and then get in and push down. Now, if at any point when we're doing the neck, if you feel a pulse, back off, that's your carotid. You don't want you passing out. So back off, you shouldn't be doing this on your carotid. And there's also nerves up here in your neck area. So again, if you feel something kind of like tingling or you're hitting a nerve, just back off that area. And we want to just kind of get back. So when you put a little pressure in here, as you go down slowly, do you feel any like knots in here in the neck? Oh, I do. Make sure you're sitting up nice and straight in your chair. I go out and I see some people sitting back like this. They'll sit up nice and straight. That was good, actually. All right. Another way that we can massage this just is, let's drop our head to the left. You're gonna take your thumb and your index finger, And if you grab right in the side of your neck, you should feel like a rope, like a ropey muscle in there. That's it also right there. So again, if you feel something throbbing, back off. We don't want anything pulsing, we don't want your carotid. So you can just kind of massage it a little bit, you know, kind of pinch it, not hard, just, I'm kind of also massaging it like this a little bit. Breathe. Good, come on up, and let's go to the other side. So same thing, it should start at the ear, but right on the side of your neck, if you feel like a tendon right there, like a thick muscle, like a piece of rope.
It's different though,
Feels different?
real different.
No. Just kind of massage it. Breathe. Everybody doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
Good. And then come on up. And now with your right hand, you're going to take your thumb and index finger, actually your 3 fingers, and just kind of put your hand over your shoulder and just kind of give yourself a little massage here. Just dig your fingers into your shoulder. Again, careful if all of us, you know, like I said, you want to just be careful that you don't really hit a lot of nerves. But if you're getting into the upper shoulder right here,
Yes.
yeah. Breathe. And try to relax this side. So don't hold your arm really tense because it's going to be, you won't be able to, the muscle's going to be tight and it's going to be tensed up. So you want to just try to relax the side that you're working. Good. Let's go to the other side. Kind of dig those fingers kind of right in to that upper shoulder. Everybody okay? Good. Nobody's passed out yet, so that's good. Arm is nice and relaxed, just let it rest down. Good, and relax, and then just give me a few little shoulder rolls. Do they feel a little bit looser? You feel a little looser in the shoulders? Okay, all right. So, working our way down, let's get our ball again. So we're gonna put the ball here on our chest, and you can just, if you want, you can just use the flat of your hand, and we're gonna just roll it to just under your collarbone. And if you want, you can put your arm out, and here you may feel a few little knots. So kind of from here and down just a little bit. Anybody feel? I definitely have tightness here.
Leslie, could you stand up?
And make sure that you're putting some pressure on that ball. Yeah, so push down. And then I found a spot right here, so I'm just gonna hold here and just push on that to get that to release.
Is that where the pectoral tendon is?
This could be the pec minor right here, and then the pec majors are right here, but the pec minor starts here and then it kind of comes down a little bit this way. I think it's this way. I think it's from here to here. But yes, these are the pecs, the chest muscles. And then let's do the other side. So arm out. So we're just going right under the clavicle. to the collarbone. And again, if you have one side very dominant, you might feel more tightness on that side, especially if you use that arm and that side a lot. And put a little bit of pressure on those spots. Anybody not have any tightness right here in their chest?
There's some.
I know, with all the, we're all a little bit like this, so. Ooh, wow. Yowza. Now, let's go back to the right side or to the first side. You're gonna go a little bit lower. So ladies, we don't wanna go on the breast tissue, but just above. And just kind of push, and again, you can have your arm out and just push in. And now, you're gonna just turn it a little bit. Usually you can do this, if you have a ball, you can do this and then go up against a wall and then use the wall to push against to really get into this. Yeah, so. Good, and then let's go to the other side. Again, so it's a little bit lower, you're underneath the collarbone, just above the breast, and just push in, find that spot, push, and then turn it a little bit. Just adds a little extra something, something. And try lifting the arm up, keep pushing into the ball, see if you can get the arm up and down. It changes the tension, or you feel it more when your arm's in one position versus the other. And breathe. Good. Go ahead and release and just kind of shake it out. Take a nice deep breath in. Everybody doing okay so far? Okay. All right. So now, let's go and we're going to start with our calf. And I'm going to just put your ball down. We're just going to use our fingers first. So if you put your fingers on the outside of your shin, so if you can see my leg, I have it, here's my shin right here, and I'm going to put my fingers down here. And if you point and flex your foot, you can feel the muscle moving here. That's your anterior tibialis in the front, but you should feel that muscle moving as you point and flex. So get your fingers, and you can put your thumbs on it and your fingers around your shin, and then just get those thumbs in there. Now this you may feel. Yeah. So remember, you want to find those spots. When you find a spot, just try to stay on it and just push. Push your fingers in, push your thumbs into it. Try to relax the leg. The more pressure that you can handle, you'll be able to release the tension. And then after a while, just start moving up the leg again. You can kind of slide the thumbs down, slide them up over that, but with pressure. There's other muscles on that side too that tend to get tight. And then just take your fingers and put your fingers in the back of your calf and just dig in. I'm just lifting my leg so you can see. And then just kind of go up and down in the back of your calf. You can go through your pant leg or pull your pant legs up. Good. Let's go to the other side. Let's do the other leg. The same thing, a little bit to the outside here. Again, if you point and flex, you can feel that muscle underneath working. So go up, use your thumbs. Come on up, find those tight spots, stay on it, push the thumbs in there. You can even experiment with flexing and pointing your foot and seeing like, ooh, if I flex my foot, it gets a little tighter. I can push into it a little bit more. Again, you may feel it more on one side than the other.
Yeah, there's a spot here.
Yeah. Ooh, I definitely found one. And then just you can take your fingers in the back and just kind of go up and like this, just kind of up and down. I mean, this is so you can do this when you're watching, if you're watching TV, you know, so. Yeah. All right, let's go back to the other leg and come right under your knee. And then you're just gonna kind of massage under the knee, getting your fingers under there. Now, on the bottom part of the knee, like right on the outside. Yeah, so, like right in the salon. Yeah.
This is a great exercise. Wow. This is a great exercise.
And then you can go over to the top of the knee and just kind of, you know, you don't need to go on the kneecap, but you can take your thumbs and just come up and down. And actually here, let's get our ball, and this time we're gonna focus on getting those quads. So you can roll. Don't roll on the knee,
Right.
just go right above the knee with the ball. And you can go a little bit to the outside of the knee. So if anybody ever has like little twinges on the outside of the knee, you know, just try kind of massaging those areas using the ball. Yeah,
This is a great exercise.
yeah. And don't forget the outside of the leg. So on the outside. So I'm over here now as well. Barbara. Just make sure that, you know, you have your hip bone right here. Just don't go over bone. All right, so you want to try, you don't want to be pushing pressure on bone. So you want to go right to kind of right below the hip bone. And again, the leg is relaxed. And you can go a little bit on the inside then. Get into those adductors. Inside of the upper leg. Ruth? Go on up here, up into here, up into the inner thigh, yep. And you can go right above the knee, you can go across like horizontal as well. Just kind of going across.
If you do this regularly, would you get where you, I assume you would get where you have fewer?
Yeah, if you do it regularly, yep. And let's do the other leg. So we'll do the other quad, and then we'll go back to the other leg, and we'll do the hamstrings and the glutes. So same thing, you can you can go right above, from above the knee, and then just kind of roll that ball. You can use two hands, find a spot, stay on it. Make sure you're putting pressure on. To get the benefit, you really want to put some pressure on the ball. And then you can go on the outside of the leg. Everybody okay? All right. I thought I would hear more, oh. Oh, okay.
Trying to be brave, Leslie.
Yeah. And then you can also go on the inside of the thigh. A lot of times when you get closer to the knee, that's where you really start to feel a lot of, for me, a lot of knots. Yeah, a lot of muscles that attach down there.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, Meredith.
You can start releasing them a little bit more, yeah. And also, I mean, at least for me, when my knee, if I feel like my knees are just a little sore, like when I'm doing stuff, if I do, using different tools, if I work on the muscles in my leg that go around the knee, it's gone. But, so for me, I think that a lot of it is just, things are tight, they're pulling on each other, so you can always try that if your knees are feeling a little achy, give yourself a little self-massage, a little stretch, and see how you feel. And then you can also go right above the knee and then just go side to side. All right. So you're going to put the ball on the chair, and so you're going to have to probably move around a lot. So I'm sitting, we're going to go back to our go back to your other leg, and you're going to put the ball down, and so it's right under your hamstring. So I have the ball right here. And then if you want, you can just kind of sit up nice and straight and then just kind of push down. You can start
Feel that.
moving your body around on that ball. So you can even move the ball around, start going up the back of the leg. We're getting into
I ever
the
feel that.
hamstrings a little bit.
I can really feel that.
Yeah. So you can just put your leg and then just sit on it and just let the body, kind of your body weight, just go down into the ball. Breathe. Again, don't tense up your muscles. Breathe. Then, now you're really going to sit on it. You're going gonna put the ball down and you're gonna get your glute. So what I would recommend is to sit on it, and then you're going to move your body around the ball a little bit. It still doesn't, this is really effective against the wall or on the floor because the cushions, the ball is sinking into the cushions. So you're not getting as much ball there, but you can really, with the glute, you can go, all around, you can come over, you can come up a little bit higher. So really, kind of going all around and just kind of moving around in the chair. Just gonna sit on that one spot for a second. Feels good. I do this, if I'm watching TV, I'll just take a tennis ball and get up against the wall and just watch TV and then just kind of move around on the wall into the glute and into the side of the hip a little bit. And especially if I do that right before bed, it really releases my back and my hips. And I wake up in the morning feeling not so stiff. Really good. Good. And let's do the other side. So we're going to start with the hamstring. Just put it down. Get your hamstring, which is these muscles right here on the back of your leg. Just sit. And Christy and I are happy to, if you ever want to know how to do it up against a wall, we're happy to show you.
Yes, yes.
I'm volunteering.
It's already there.
Yeah.
Rub against. Or you could even just press against.
Yeah, you can press against it. Now, if you want to do the glute, I'll show you how you do the glute. Yeah. I'm going to put it, and then I'm just going to sit up. I'm going to go against it. So I have the ball right here in the middle of my glute. And then you have to put pressure, or the ball is going to keep dropping. And then it's just, it does drop sometimes. And then it's just kind of rolling around. But that's what you can do in the chair as well. But here you can really push up against it. You're welcome. There's plenty of wall space if you want to try it. You can really get into the glutes. Again, you can just sit on the ball and kind of move your hip around.
Can you do that for your lower back too?
You would use it probably more on the outside, not on your spine.
Below the waist, just below the waist.
Like here?
Yeah.
Well, where I like to do it is really more, where your hip bone is here. Just kind of come it over, because there's stuff that attaches in here as well that's also can, that can loosen up, and that will help loosen up your back as well. But getting your glutes alone will really release a lot of stuff. So, okay, so let's put the ball down. We've done a lot. Let's do a little bit of stretching. I probably could have done the stretching after each segment, but I wanted to make sure I got through all
Move.
this stuff with this first, okay?
Sure.
So let's start with the hands. Put your right palm up, and let's just stretch. There's the pinky, then the ring finger, and the tall finger.
Oh,
Yep.
Index finger.
And then the index finger.
Oh, that's what, we call that pointer
Make
exercise.
sure you sit up nice and straight on the edge of your seat.
We do this in Christy's
These are
class.
core muscles. Yeah.
At the
And then the
pointer.
thumb. And then you're going to pull the pinky down towards the palm of your hand.
Oh,
then the ring. Then the tall finger. Bringing the finger down towards the palm. Yep. And then the index. And then the thumb.
Sounds like Christmas.
Good. And then your right arm can come out nice and straight, and if you can either stay like this, spread your fingers, you can also gently press those fingers back. The straighter your arm, the more stretch you're going to get in your arm. You may also feel it in the wrist. You might feel it going down into the palm of your hand. Yeah. Show me your palm. Same thing, straighten out that arm, and then you can also gently press back. So try to straighten that arm. So if your arm is here, see if you can just straighten it out a little bit more.
Can you do this against a wall?
Yeah, you can also, if you have a wall at home, you can put your hand on the wall. And this you'll really feel. You'll feel it, the palm, the wrist, the arm, into the front of the shoulder.
Wow. Oh.
Yep. All right, let's switch hands.
I see it.
Other arm. Oh, so let's start with stretching out the
Well,
pinky.
thank you.
Then the ring finger. Then the tall finger. And the index. And the thumb. And then let's go ahead and bring the pinky to the palm. Pull it down into the palm. Good. Ring finger. Yeah. Tall finger. The index finger. Using that other hand because I can't get it to my palm, but with this, using the hand, I can really get it in there. Of course, don't force anything. And then the thumb. Just pull it across. Arm outstretched. And you can gently press those fingers back. Try to get the arm as straight as possible. Show me your palm. Again, straighten out that arm. So this stretch, if you're, this either doing this or the wall stretch is really good if you've just spent a lot of time on a computer, doing art, playing the piano, whatever, where your arms are kind of bent and
Stiff.
like this, right? So you won't be able to just kind of stretch them out. All right, so the neck, sitting up nice and straight. Take your right arm out like you're reaching for the wall, and let's drop our head to the left. Now, if you want a deeper stretch, you can take your left hand and just place it on top of your head. Just using the weight of the hand can just get the stretch a little bit deeper. So does everybody feel a stretch in here? Now, staying in this position with the head, go ahead and turn and look down at your left foot or the left front chair leg. You may feel the stretch shift in your neck and shoulders. And then come back to the tilted position and up and just kind of stretch it out, nice and gentle. Good, let's do the other side. Reaching for the wall and drop your head in the opposite direction. And again, you can put your hand on your head
Easier this
and
way.
then really reach for that wall. The more you when you really stretch out that arm, you'll get that nice stretch. And then keeping your head tilted, go ahead and turn, look down at the front left chair leg, or right, whichever. Right one, yeah. And then come back to center and up and just roll it out. It may take, Just turn and look over your left shoulder. Come back to center, look over your right shoulder. Center and left. And center and right. Good. The chest. So this stretch is also good for kind of helping to stretch out part of the chest as well. But you can also go ahead and put your arms out, shoulders relaxed, your thumbs are up. We're going to follow our right thumb, take it back, and you're going to watch that arm as you take that arm behind you. Your left arm stays out straight, so straighten out that forward arm. Now look forward, keeping your arm back behind you as best you can. See if you can just pull them open a little bit more. Feel a stretch in the front of the shoulder. Good, and bring it back. And let's take the left arm. Follow your thumb back behind you. The right arm stays out in front. You look back. You're getting another neck stretch. And then look forward, keeping the arm behind you. So try not to, when you look forward, let the arm come forward. And then just see if you can pull it back a little bit more. I mean, don't force anything, but if you can get it just like a 1/4 inch more, shoulders relaxed. And then bring it back to center, and then just kind of shake it out. Take a deep breath in. Good. All right, sit forward in your chair, sit on the edge of your seat, and take your right leg out, heel down, toes up, and just pull your right leg. And sit forward in your chair. There you go. And just pull those toes towards you. The more you pull them towards you, you should feel a nice stretch in the calf muscle. So just stretching out that calf. Also, if you find, here's another stretch that you can do if you're standing. You can do this in the elevator. Just go up, put your heel down, your toes up, and then just lean in. So that will also give you a nice stretch in the calf.
And when somebody gets on the elevator, you say, Leslie told me to do
We're
this.
stretching. Why don't you join me? And let's go ahead and sitting up nice and straight. Let's hinge forward and reach for the toes with our right hand.
Is your
Make
leg,
sure your core is engaged in this position. So I always say reach, I don't say touch. So, because I don't want everybody to force, so just go where you can. And then come on up. And then you're going to take your left arm over to the outside of the leg and slide it down.
This is in Christy's class.
Keep your toes pointing up to the ceiling. That way you really get that stretch. And relax. Good. Let's do the other leg. Left leg. Or just sit up nice and straight first and just pull your toes to the ceiling. As you just stay up. We're just going to do the calf first. Just sit up straight and just really pull your toes towards you. So just really getting that calf muscle. Ooh, I should have done this on the other leg. But right here, go ahead and point your toes down.
ooh, nice.
Feel that stretch in the front of the shins? Yeah, I should have done that on the other one. And go ahead and pull your toes up again. Hold. And point your toes down. Try to get them to the floor. Back off if you feel your foot getting a cramp. One more time, pull your toes up to the ceiling. And then put them down to the floor. Good. Pull your toes back up. Sit up nice and straight. Reach with your left hand for the toes. Go where you can. you make sure your tummy's tight in this position and come on up. Breathe. Keep those toes pointing to the ceiling. Take your right arm and take it to the outside of the leg. You can slide it down. Keep pulling your toes up to the ceiling. Come on up. Good. Let's go ahead and tuck our knee in to our chest, sitting up nice and straight. Now you can either stay here or you can take your ankle on top of the thigh. So if you need to, you can just stay right here. And then put your hands under your knee and pull the knee in towards the opposite shoulder. So we're stretching out our glutes a little bit. Good. Let's do the other leg. Just pull the knee in, sit up nice and straight. You can either stay here, or you can put your ankle on the thigh, and then put your hands under the knee and pull it in towards the opposite shoulder. Good. Sit the feet down on the floor. Just kind of shake everything out. And let's get a deep breath in and out. Do it again. Take your breaths all the way into the belly. Get your chest and belly moving together. And out. Nice job, everybody. How do you feel? How do you feel?
Wonderful.
You feel